Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So excited to be joined today by my friend Gabi Shriki, who is SVP, Head of Audiovisual Business at Valens. Topic of conversation is, of course, ISE 2024, coming up very, very shortly. We're almost there, almost in Barcelona. Going to be a really exciting show for Valens, for the HDBaseT Alliance. So thank you so much, Gabi, for joining me and giving us an opportunity to learn a little bit about what Valens is most excited about.
Thank you, Dan, and good morning. And it's amazing that already a year passed and we are soon at ISE. Crazy.
It sure is. It sure is. And I know Valens is going to have a lot to talk about, and we can only scratch the surface here. But something that I think probably is going to be a big focus, and let me know if I'm wrong, is the new VS6320 chipset, the debut of that. Is that a big story for Valens? And if so, why is it so exciting?
Absolutely. And the VS6320 is the USB 3.2 Gen 1 extension technology. Over category cable, 100-meter long, professional grade, highly reliable extension technology. In fact, this week at CES, we received an award for this technology as well. And the USB 3 in general is, obviously trending very nicely in the market, and all of the PCs and all of the USB peripherals are migrating to USB 3 as it brings more bandwidth. USB 2 could bring about 480 megabit per second, and the USB 3.2 Gen 1 brings 5 gigabit per second. I'm talking about USB 5 rates, the physical level rate. So this is 10 times faster, 10 times wider bandwidth, and this is important. When USB 2 cameras needed to do a 1080p HD stream only, they needed to use motion JPEG compression. And that limits the maximum resolution you could do with a USB 2 camera. It does introduce latency as you need to compress and decompress, and USB 3.2 solves that. And with the extended bandwidth, it brings more capabilities to those video cameras, video conferencing camera, even if it's a standalone camera or video bar. So let's look at a trend of video bars in the market. You could see it everywhere, right? Each one of those video bars typically nowadays have more than one camera stream inside the same bar. So more camera streams needs more bandwidth. If I can do the stream with no compression, then also the latency is reduced dramatically. And therefore, the USB 3 is going to be a big thing. And the ability to extend USB 3 peripheral is very good news for the market.
There's no doubt about it. And I think you touched on a lot of the points about how this professional grade extension solution is going to be different from existing solutions, superior to existing solutions. Do you want to dig even deeper into how manufacturer partners can benefit from it, why they should be excited about it?
Yes, absolutely. So the HDBaseT USB 3, as we call it, is a standardized way to extend USB 3 peripheral over category cable. And when we talk extension, we're talking about full 100-meter long, same as we did on the HDBaseT for HDMI extension for the video. And typically, when we extend the main interface, which in our case is USB 2 and USB 3 together, we, along that, also extend other important signals, control signals, dedicated general purpose IOs to be used with the product in an efficient way. So all of this is going to benefit a lot our vendors, because they will be able to bring products that has no extension limitation. Before, if you had a USB 3 product, you were limited to the short distance cable that you had to go with, either 1 meter to 2 meter to 3 meter, before needing to do some special way of extending it by either active cables, optical cables, or other means. With our solution, this is going to be a big improvements, because the implementation we did is based on an ASIC implementation. It's a chip. It's not an FPGA. So it's a single chip that is super efficient in terms of power consumption, very small size solution, because we embed the USB 2, the USB 3, and the physical interface, we call the PHY, all of it is on the same chip. And that is going to be a huge impact on our vendors because they can now build products with a smaller form factor when they need extension. It could be embedded into cameras. It could be embedded into general purpose USB hubs, and it could be even inside the wall mount. It's that efficient.
That really is remarkable. And I can only imagine how excited your vendors are about this. But I also imagine there's equal excitement, if not even more excitement, among the installer community, the integrator community, talking about some of the benefits this provides. When can they really start looking to see some of those products on the market, leveraging this technology so they can put it in their installations and give their customers this kind of an experience?
Absolutely. I think nowadays installers and our equipment vendors needs to compromise in order to support extension of USB 3. So the compromise will come in the form of using active optical cables, which you cannot decide the distance, the length that you need in the field during the installation. You cannot terminate it in the field properly. It's very sensitive. Or in the form of other technologies that goes over category cable, which are very bulky, super expensive, very high power disefficiency, I would say. So getting hot, cannot go into small form factors. And with our solution, because we are so efficient on a single chip, we expect our solution to be about 2 to 3 times lower power, 2 to 3 times smaller in size, and 2 to 3 times cheaper than equivalent alternative solution. So I think this will be super exciting. During ISE show, we have multiple partners at our HDBaseT zone, whole number, it's 2P500, I think. This is the place to come and see. We'll probably see about a dozen of new products that are already ready to launch from different manufacturers, including cameras. So imagine an installer who needs extension for USB 3 camera. He could buy a USB 3 camera with the extension built into it and buy the equivalent host side box that has the 6320 embedded. And all he needs is just one single category cable to be terminated in the field and connected to the two ends of the link to the two products, and that's it.
It's exciting. And I think you said, let me know if I misunderstood, that there are about a dozen products or so you're expected to be showing at ISE at 2P500, leveraging this technology already. So this isn't really something of the future. This is something of the present. People can get their hands on this in just days or weeks, depending on you're watching this video.
Absolutely correct. And I think that the bigger news even is that we will be able to standardize the way people do USB 3 extension around the world, same as we did for the HDMI for the video and USB 2. Now for the USB 3, you'll be able to buy different products from different vendors and use one category cable to connect in between, and it will work in a reliable, professional grade.
Well, I really appreciate the information, Gabi. I know that I'm going to be at booth 2P500 a whole lot during ISE. There's going to be a lot to check out. I'm looking forward to connecting with you there and just leveraging all of the excitement about what you're discussing. You know, VS6320, the chipset debut, the latest HDBaseT USB 3 standard. I think it's going to be the talk of the show. It's going to be one of the headlines of the show, and we're excited to amplify it.
Same here. Looking forward to see you there and our audience.
Thank you so much once again, Gabi Shriki, SVP, Head of Audiovisual Business with Valens, for joining us today. Looking forward to seeing you at booth 2P500. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please check back on our site throughout the run-up to ISE, during ISE, after ISE, for all the latest updates and information about exciting technology debuts and technology unveilings at the show, including especially the VS6320 chipset from Valens. Until we see you in Barcelona, talk to you later.